Hello, this is Gina Versa back again for this is the eighth episode of recording our comic book show, talking, serving up comics.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm joined by Nick Valero. Nick, how are
how's it
you?
going? Good, good. Enjoying the quarantine, staying at home, watching Netflix. I believe I'm almost close to the black screen where it just goes, you're done. Pretty sure I'm,
Like
I'm close.
go out. Yeah, it's like watch another show.
Yeah. I think
Like,
early today I was catching up on Lucifer.
hmm,
It
that's
was
a Netflix exclusive now.
yeah, but I was rewatching it because what is it? On the 21st, the fifth season comes out.
Oh, nice. Is that the last one?
I don't know. They said that there were talks that they might be in a sixth season.
Okay.
So I guess it really depends on how well this does.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, yeah, it's an interesting show from what I've seen.
I really like the show. It's really fun. It's a
Yeah,
fun show. I'm really happy that it's technically considered part of the Arrowverse.
yeah. I guess it. I think it melded with all the other alternators.
Yeah, it was really cool because they even explained like was it when Crisis happened? It's technically taking place before Lucifer.
Hmm.
So before the series happens, that's where Crisis on Infinite Earths is. So that means that even after all the universes explode and they come back together, this is still one of the multiverses. So still part of the Arrowverse, it's still everything like that. So I'm super excited.
Yeah, and with this recording, we're using Zoom from all our podcasts, so you get to see Nick's room.
Yes, you can see my room. I was cleaning and I was rearranging stuff. So
If you're watching on YouTube, please.
yes, you are watching on YouTube. You can see that I am a slob and all my stuff is
Well,
everywhere right now.
well, I'm glad you cleaned it though.
You know what?
I do
Gene
that.
did see me he pick up a couple of things and move them around so that way they weren't on camera. But yeah. What
So
about you, Gene? How are you doing during this quarantine?
I'm doing okay. Constantly just finding new things to read, to watch, to play. Been playing a lot of Ghosts of Shishime.
Shima, yeah, yeah. What was it?
Yeah,
That's my next game I'm gonna play. That's my
yeah.
next
That
game.
that's been pretty fun. You just be a samurai. It reminds me of like Samurai Jack or a Kurosawa film. And it's just
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. What was it? I've heard a lot of really good things. I've watched my brother play it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I like what I've seen so far. I just haven't gotten a chance to actually sit down and play it. I'm sure as soon as I play it, I'm gonna burn through it.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah. There's a lot of side quests. But speaking of things I was reading earlier, I've been catching up on Strange Adventures by
uh,
Tom King in the comic book world. That's finally coming out. That was
okay,
delayed during the pandemic with a lot of other comics and Death Metal as
okay.
well by Scott Snyder. And yeah, I've just been reading. I was rereading a lot of my kind of crossovers the last few years, Doomsday Clock and
Hmm.
Heroes in Crisis, reading random issues on the DC Universe app.
Yeah, yeah. I see you running through a lot of stuff sometimes.
I'm
So
using his.
yeah,
So if anyone,
what was it? I haven't been reading anything on the DC Universe app lately. I've actually been on my Shonen Jump app.
oh, okay.
I've been reading a lot of manga and either catching up on anime that I've been watching or going past anime I've been watching or anything like that. So like what was it like One Piece, My Hero Academia,
Mhm.
uh, what was it? There's a bunch of different just manga I've just been catching up on or getting into and stuff like that. So that's really fun.
How is it? You know, the filler in a lot of anime kind of, or excuse me, in anime or manga, really kind of slows things down, but kind of having nothing to do. Do you find it like, oh man, there's more stuff to read?
Well, that's the thing, though, is that there's a reason why in anime there are filler.
Yeah.
So in anime, the reason why you have filler is because we've caught up to the manga.
Mm.
So in the manga, there is no filler. They're sticking on story. They have a story to tell. When you're doing a show week to week, and we got to keep on pumping out shows. Once they've caught up to the manga, they have to go, well, damn. Okay, so we have to go on, and so they try to finish up whatever arc they're on, and then before starting the next arc, they have like a filler arc, which basically is kind of like a creation of its own that very much just kind of like spans off, and they go, okay, cool, we'll have 20 episodes that are all filler,
Yeah.
and that'll give the writers and the drawers time, so that way they can give us at least halfway through that arc, so that way we can then start working on the next arc. So that's the main reason why you get a lot of filler for anime.
Yeah.
But when you're actually reading it, there's no filler. You're just getting boom, 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 cool. I'm getting like every so often you get like character episodes, but none of them are really useless.
I was going to mention the Goku fighting Frieza for like 20, 20 episodes as a.
That's another thing as well. Like in Dragon Ball Z, what was it, like Super? They don't like, their fights aren't as long. Like they're probably only like 3 issues instead of like it being like 5 episodes.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah, like right now I think there's like they have like a giant fight with Moro, who's like the new big bad. And he uses like magic instead of like anything else. And it's going on for like about, I think this fight's going on for like six issues so far.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a good fight. It's a really good fight. So if you haven't seen it or you haven't read it, go check it out.
Okay, we'll take your word for it. But yeah, that's that's been what we're reading. So with we've been kind of resorting to that since no new movies or anything have been coming out, unfortunately, during this pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing I wanted to talk about with you, Nick, is seems like we're missing out on the Marvel Cinematic Universe this year. It's like it drifted off.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, they have, but the thing is that I feel like this little break that we're in. I mean, I don't think in no way, shape, or form did the MCU think that this break was going to be as long, because they were going to have Black Widow coming out, and that was going to give you kind of like your new taste of Marvel. It's going to give you like a little more story, and then they had to postpone because of the quarantine.
Yes.
But with this longer break, because I feel that what Disney Plus is going to do is they're going to see how Mulan does in the States, because they're already releasing Mulan and a couple of their other movies in cinemas across the world. Because their cinemas have actually started opening, so they're kind of going, okay, cool, we can start, releasing our movie. Right. I think they're going to see how Mulan does in the States. Have you heard what Mulan is doing?
Yeah. So
$30. Yeah. It's a $30 fee, and then you can rent Mulan for like, I think, a day.
No. It's you get to keep it on your Disney Plus account as long as you have.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, that's a lot better than I thought. Yeah. I thought it was like a day or two. I was like, damn, $30.
At least they give you that. Yeah. I'm a little hesitant to, I guess, to rent that. If I had to watch it by myself, I'd rather split the costs. I mean, I guess this is a price for families, but it just seems a little fickle that they're doing this for $30 since Artemis Fowl was free. They just dumped that on their servers for Disney Plus.
I do feel that there is this. I understand why they're going for the $30. Let's just say you go movie ticket's about $15-$20.
Right.
Give or take. If you go on a date, or you go and take your kid, or you take anybody else while going to this movie, it's going to be somewhere near $30 to go watch Mulan. Let's just say you buy popcorn as well, it's going to go up about $50.
Sure. Yeah.
Just saying, $50, which are you going to buy popcorn, some soda, everything like that. I think that Mulan for $30 is a reasonable price.
Reasonable. Yeah, I
mean, especially if you were going to watch it, and then if you were like, oh, that was really good, I'm going to go watch it again.
Yeah. see it 3 more times. Yeah, I mean, I certainly could see you know, there's an understanding behind it. I don't really think I could get behind such a price hike during a pandemic. I'll
Well, you got to make money, man.
yeah,
Like they can't just keep giving everything out for free. Because I honestly do feel that they kind of feel like they fucked up with Hamilton.
with Hamilton. Oh,
I do
okay.
feel like they kind of messed up with that one because I
Yeah,
think easily everybody would have bought it for $30.
you think so?
I easily. There's no way that people wouldn't have. It's $30 compared to $1,000 ticket.
Yeah. Well, was there? What was the plan for Hamilton originally? I'm not as
It was going to be also what was
theaters.
it? It was going to be coming out in theaters in 2021.
Hmm.
Well, instead they moved it forward and then released it on Disney Plus.
Okay.
But still, it was watched over what millions of times, over and over and over again, all
Yeah.
throughout the, and it's probably still being watched now.
It's
You
trending.
know,
It's pretty. Yeah, it's been trending on their streaming app for a while. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they could have seen a loss in profits. I doubt that they would have seen anything their budget back with Artemis Fowl.
yeah, I don't think there was going to be a large. When you saw it online, no one was like, "Hey, have you seen Artemis Fowl?" Like, nobody was going out and going like, "Hey, man, Artemis Fowl, that's the movie of the year." No one was doing it.
Well, it is the only one of the only movies it could be.
Yeah, but I mean, I really do think that they saw how much by releasing a movie on their streaming platform, how well it did,
Hmm.
testing out how many people will actually watch it if we charge an extra. If we charge this $30, which is technically only 2 movie tickets, you were most likely going to see the movie either once or twice, or you were going to take a date on this to see this movie.
Yeah.
You were going to be
Yeah.
spending that $30 no matter what.
No, for sure. Yeah. Well, I just, yeah, it certainly makes sense, but I just also, even with that, I mean, I can't even really see them making their budget back, even with the $30. Because I was, yeah, just seeing reports of, I believe Sonic released in China and just did not do well. So,
People
I
didn't
mean,
get
even
it.
what's
Didn't
that?
get it. People didn't get it.
Yeah.
Like they're just like, I don't get it.
I actually like Sonic for sure.
No, I really like that movie
Yeah,
too, but I feel like Sonic is very much an American movie.
okay.
Like it makes sense in the States, but if you
Mhm.
were to take it like to like China or Japan, it's a very confusing movie.
Yeah.
Like it's just not a movie that was gonna do very well there. So for that, I could see Mulan doing a little better,
Hmm.
but I honestly don't know. Honestly, I'm thinking that Mulan's gonna suck. So
Yeah. So, well, we'll see. So just kind of going off, that it's going to be $30. Would you like to see Black Widow on Disney Plus?
uh,
Are you good with the Marvel?
for you know what, honestly, if they were offering it on Disney Plus,
Hmm.
and then they said, "Oh yeah, we'll give it to you for $30. It's a 4K version." Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Why not? I'll spend the $30 and then it's a 4K edition of it, and everything like that. Most likely, I'm probably going to show it to more people than just my family.
Yeah.
Like, there's no, it's not like it's just me and my family that has our Disney Plus account. Everybody shares.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I think the $30 is reasonable. I would buy it. It's kind of like just buying the movie digitally.
Yeah. Yeah, in a way. Yeah, I mean, I'm not dying to see a Marvel movie right now.
Really.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see Black Widow, but either way, I feel, maybe I would to rent it, but I don't really have any strong feelings when the kind of the world reopens. Yeah, but yeah, I would see it in the theater when it's safe, when this is all over. But it's I love the MCU, but for the past like 3 or 4 years, there's been like 3 movies a year in addition to the TV shows.
Mhm.
So it just kind of feels like I don't know, just a nice little break. I mean, you know that the universe exists in some form. I guess there's Agents of Shield, but
Yeah.
just yeah, you're just kind of away from it for a little bit. Maybe it's kind of
If you're watching Agents of Shield, it is completely different. It is
yeah,
like if you were to jump into Agents of Shield, Agents of Shield is like cool. You know what show did really well? Legends of Tomorrow.
hmm.
We should do that.
Yeah. I've gone off the bandwagon for Agents of Shield a long
Yeah.
time ago. So
No, because this season is very much like if you were to put Legends of Tomorrow next to Agents of Shield, this season is very similar. It's all about them going through time trying to stop aliens from messing up the timeline.
okay.
And then they have like wacky adventures in like the 50s, the 60s,
Hmm.
and like they're dressing up, they're having goofy adventures, and you're kind of going like, this is just kind of familiar
Hmm.
and stuff like that. So it has very much like a Legends, vibe to it without having like those characters, like those fun characters that you really enjoy. So, it is what it is.
Yeah, maybe I'll get to that. But before we just move on to the next topic, I was going to ask you. So, the MCU, it's kind of it's in its own reality, but there's it feels like our kind of the reality we're living in now. Do you feel in any way that the maybe in the shows or the movies that they'll address kind of our reality of being in this pandemic? Do you think that'll affect the universe in any way? What are your thoughts on that? Because
I don't know. I think that would be kind of interesting, but also I don't really. I mean, I honestly, I do feel like there is a great TV show in that
mhm,
where you could have what would happen if the pandemic was there and what would the Avengers do.
yeah,
You could have like a Big Brother type TV show with all of like the Avengers cast, and it's like the Big Brother but with the Avengers. They're all kind of stuck inside, and they all have to kind of deal with their own quirks. That would be hilarious. Uh, uh,
yeah, yeah. Do professionals in front of
yeah, like you have like Hulk having confessionals about like Banner and just
yeah.
and I think there's there's a show in there somewhere, but I mean it's just like Marvel Comics. I mean Marvel Comics even had 9/11 inside of their
Right.
comic books. They had like a bunch of stuff about the Afghan and Iraq War. I mean,
Hmm.
it wouldn't be very surprising because that is something that their comics do very often is to mention real world events,
Yeah.
stuff like that. I wouldn't imagine DC doing that because
No.
DC is a lot more into their own, like, this is our world. We don't really touch on a lot of, like, we'll talk about stuff that's like that. Like, we'll have another terrorist attack in our own
Mhm.
universe and then write a story about that, about the characters, like, dealing with, like, a terrorism attack. But we won't actually show, like, 9/11. But Marvel is more of doing that. So if they were to put that in the show or the MCU, I wouldn't be very surprised.
Yeah, yeah, well, yeah, definitely, yeah. See, because for some of the current events, I mean, like, not even like, the president in the TV shows. It's still the guy from like Iron Man 3. So,
Yeah, he hasn't changed in
that one,
like 12
sure.
years.
Mhm. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I feel like a lot of people will kind of want to forget about this whole thing. So
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
honestly, I wouldn't mind kind of seeing what they do with it, but I honestly do feel that that also kind of puts them in a weird spot too, because
Hmm.
it's swaying one way or another, and that could be that can be polarizing. You
Hmm.
don't exactly gain all of the fans or the market that you were kind of going,
Right. Right.
stuff like that, because in a movie like that or a TV show you have to take a side necessarily, or
Yeah.
even if you try to do both sides somebody gets offended.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Somebody
I
doesn't
mean,
like what somebody else is saying, and then you have
yeah.
this giant thing,
I mean,
whereas
there's sadly sides for surviving the pandemic.
yeah, yeah,
Comic.
I think it would be hilarious if you had like Rhodey, and he's just like, you got to wear a mask, and Wanda is just like, no, like I don't want to, like, or
Yeah, Vision.
I just think that would be really funny.
Yeah.
But
But I guess just for right now, I guess this is a nice kind of vacation, I guess, for a lot of these characters. So
yeah,
maybe they'll make people miss it, because maybe some people are just kind of tired out. Yeah.
you know what? I think so. It's giving. I do believe it's kind of giving you a relaxation from the superhero fatigue.
Yeah.
From having every year we have 15, 20 movies that are all about superheroes. They don't all have to be from the MCU. They can be from whatever company or anything like that. I think it is kind of, it's nice. It's like it's like, a nice little icebreaker between, a big Marvel event and everything like that. I mean, I'm
Oh
just looking forward to the Snyder Cut. That's pretty much what
yeah.
I'm looking forward to right
Yeah.
now.
Next year it'll keep you motivated to just make it through this.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm really hoping they decide to make it an HBO series because I think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Because as of right now, Zack Snyder's like, it's 5 hours. It's 5 hours.
Yeah, I mean, no one knows. No one knows how. But speaking off of just kind of you know unconventional superheroes. Let's talk about Doom Patrol.
The Doom Patrol.
So how they're a pretty obscure team, I would say. I love DC Comics.
Yes.
They've been around since the probably the Bronze Age,
Yeah.
Silver Age, around there. Probably the Silver Age, excuse me, if anyone's fact
Mm,
checking. But
yeah.
but
You don't know
they're
much about them. They
but
would be
yeah,
like they're like DC's version of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
like
you could definitely say that because
yeah, where everybody went like, oh yeah, we're gonna have a movie about Guardians of the Galaxy, and then everybody went, who the hell is the Guardians of the Galaxy? It's
yeah,
just like when they had a TV show, and they were in DC Universe was like, we're making a Doom Patrol show, and everybody went, who the hell is the Doom Patrol?
yeah. But Nick, what was your what was were the characters ever on your radar? They were in kind of the Teen Titans, Batman,
Yeah,
Thunderbolt.
that would probably be where I saw them first. Would be
Yeah.
the first Teen Titans TV show in the early 2000s
Mhm.
because they did introduce them in that Teen Titans and this on Kids WB.
Right.
They
Yeah, because
originally had them there.
Beast Boy was a member.
Yeah, that's where you first introduced the Beast Boy, and then Beast Boy goes on to which are become they all get wiped out and die,
Yeah.
and then he ends up joining with the Titans. And that's
Mhm.
like a big thing and everything like that. That's actually why his uniform is still that color, is because it's actually his Doom Patrol costume. And I was like, oh, that's a nice little like
Yeah.
nod to it and everything else.
Yeah. So I mean, they're pretty obscure. I mean, the most I knew about them was besides the cartoons, is just the Grant Morrison run,
Mhm.
how he handled those characters, and yeah, they were just always in the crossover events, just kind of hanging back. He never. I mean, they always looked visually interesting, but never got to know them, and
I know
kind.
there's a couple of graphic novels too, and
Mhm.
they just kind of show up. Like
Yeah,
they're always in the background of like large like
crowd shot.
splash pages,
Mhm.
stuff like that. Like if you look, you'll find like, oh, there's the Doom Patrol. They're in the corner. But that's kind
Um,
of like no one's ever really given them like an interesting storyline or like front
yeah.
billing for a thing. Where it's like we're just gonna make things about the Doom Patrol. We're not gonna, we're gonna talk about these other people, but and the Doom Patrol had something to do with it.
Mhm. Yeah, and kind of famously, they predate. I believe they predate the X-Men. Um,
Yes,
and you could
actually,
kind of
they
see, the parallels between those, the X-Men, yeah, because they're in 1963. Yeah, they
yeah,
came
actually,
out.
there's a huge thing about who came first. Was it
Yeah.
the Doom Patrol or was it the X Men? And if you go by the makeup of the first team,
Mhm.
very similar. Because I mean, you have what was it? You have the Doom Patrol, and it's a team that's made of like these superhuman people. But the thing is that like the Doom Patrol never like made a school
Mhm.
and like taught
Yeah.
other metahumans or anything like that. So I mean, they do kind of branch out in
Mhm.
different ways.
Yeah, they're noticeably different. I mean, they just have a lot of glaring similarities with
Mhm.
someone in a wheelchair that's leading them. They're
Yeah.
kind of feared, but yeah, I mean, I always consider them pretty interesting. Probably wanted to know more about them, but because you were probably watching Titans and they popped up. What was your first impression there? Titans, I have not watched.
You know what? Their first show up in Titans was really interesting. They show up, and you. This is when you kind of get like your first introduction to the live action Doom Patrol.
Hmm.
Which also the DC universe made a really weird thing.
Yeah.
Where the Doom Patrol that we met in Titans isn't the Doom Patrol from the show.
Hmm. They're an alternate
They're an alternate universe,
universes.
and
Yeah.
that's how they explained the characters not being the same, or
Mhm.
that they've never met the Titans or Beast Boy or anything like that. That's how they explained away that glaring fact. But yeah, in Doom Patrol, in Titans, they were pretty interesting. It was but it changed the vibe of the show a bit.
Yeah.
Because early Titans was very much, especially Titans season one, it felt like the show didn't know what it wanted to be.
Hmm.
Are we a team show? Are we like a like on the run show? Are we a traveling show? Do we save a city? Do we not? Like, what are we doing? And it was kind of like we're picking up characters from different spots, which was really weird because even at the end of that episode, no one really says that Beast Boy should go with them, but he just leaves with them.
Yeah.
Like the entire episode, he's like, "Oh yeah, this is my family. I love these guys. These are the people I love." And then at the very end, he's like, "Well, deuce, I'm out." he goes with this guy that he met for like an hour and a half, and you're just kind of going like, and everybody's like, "Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead, leave. Get the fuck out of here. No one wants you."
Sure, yeah, that's very cold. Yeah.
And then but everybody's like, okay, yeah, it's fine. And then he just leaves. And he's like, yeah, but I love the Doom Patrol. And, but Beast Boy never mentions or talks about the Doom Patrol ever again. Like never comes up of like, oh hey, I miss them, or like, hey, I talked to so and so the other day, or anything like that. Like never comes up that he was once
Yeah,
a Doom Patrol.
it seemed like such a shift in continuity. It was almost like a proto version of the Doom Patrol.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that they did correctly was keep the cast,
Hmm.
because the cast does an amazing job.
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser and everybody else, I really enjoy them. I like the fact that they changed the professor,
Hmm.
uh, everything else. I think the cast does a lot of heavy lifting for that show.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, yeah, let's just talk about the cast because, yeah, I just love this. All the actors, the cast of characters. Brendan Fraser is great as
Yeah,
Robot Man.
yeah, and a lot of them just do an amazing job from what exactly it is that they need to be doing. You know, my actual favorite is Matt Bomber.
Oh, Negative Man.
Yeah, Negative Man. I know him from Chuck,
Okay.
as he is the friend that sends Chuck the data in that show, and he becomes like a villain that they have to fight later. But he does a really awesome job, and especially with the fact that you can't see his face,
Hmm.
there is a lot of emotion behind his performance.
Yeah, and his voice acting.
Yeah, there's a lot of emotion. Brendan Fraser does an amazing job. I mean, there's as Robot Man, he does awesome and everything like that. Yeah, I really enjoy it. I actually also really enjoy their version of Cyborg more
Mhm.
than I enjoy more than even the live action Cyborg.
Oh, the from Justice League, Ray
Yeah,
Fisher.
from Justice League, because I mean, I know that according to Zack Snyder and them, he was supposed to be like way better, and he was supposed to
Yeah,
have like way more scenes
he was
and way
having
more
a lot more
developed.
to do apparently.
Yeah, apparently he was able to have a lot more to do. But I do like this idea of them going about Cyborg and kind of going, who is Cyborg?
Hmm.
Is he man? Is he machine? Or, what is he? And stuff like that. I also do like the idea that he's not a mother box.
Yeah.
Like I really enjoy that. I don't know why in the newest comics they decided, oh yeah, we're gonna make Cyborg part mother box.
Hmm.
Even in the comics, they started doing that, and it was like that. Why? Why is he a mother
Yeah,
box?
it seemed very unnecessary to kind of shoehorn that into his origin, make it
Yeah, yeah.
apocalyptic.
Not only that, but also it always just brings him back to I have a connection to Apocalypse, and then he becomes like a thing to attack Apocalypse, or Apocalypse uses him to get to Earth.
Right. Yeah,
It,
it's always one or the other.
yeah, it's always turning Cyborg, who's a really cool character, into this teleportation or like portal.
Yeah, he's kind of
Really,
Doctor Strange.
yeah, and then but it very much sidelines him for the rest of the movie or the rest of the show or the rest of the comic because he has to come back from being a mother box, from it taking over, and then it's like this whole thing.
Right.
Whereas if he's just a miracle of science, that's a lot cooler because it's this thing of is he code or how much of him is code? How much of it is machine? Is he still in there? Is Victor Stone still alive? You know, or is he a computer that just thinks he's Victor Stone?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the only addition I've been, enjoying is just Grid, who turns against him several times in the comic. Yeah, just having the fact that he has to, he's basically he's human, but then he's an AI, and exploring when that takes over, is he still in control? So that's a such a deeper like psychological you know plot
Yeah,
line for the show. And I guess kind of the thing I'm most impressed with Doom Patrol is the fact that the show is about mental health. It's
hmm
for like 10 episodes, it's just them like doing like a group therapy session.
yeah. It's very much like we got to get our shit together.
Mm.
That's very much what like the first like, couple episodes are
Yeah,
about.
yeah, and they're not, it's, I mean, they're still, like they're doing superhero things, but then they're fighting like Nazis and everything. But then it's just things that you wouldn't see in a superhero film. Like it reminded me of the scene with like Thor playing like Fortnite
Mhm.
Endgame, and him being all depressed, but just more well done.
Yeah,
Because yeah, I mean, in just Endgame, all the scenes of them just being normal just kind of came off as a little boring. But this is, it's so interesting to just kind of see the psyche of all these characters.
yeah, and I do like the idea of them talking about like Elastigirl,
Mhm.
talking about her self worth, or talking about what it meant to be an actress in the '50s or in the '40s. Oh, is it in the '40s or in the '50s?
I believe it's in the 40s. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's all about like what exactly did it take to be an actress back then? Like,
Mhm.
what did it mean to be on top?
Yeah. Poor
Was it?
Rita.
Yeah. Then you also have Jane, who she's dealing with all these different personalities, and she does an amazing job too of like portraying who these different people are, just with physicality. Like she doesn't need to like physically turn into these people, but just what was it? Just the way that she's like moving herself, or portraying her posture, or even her voice. Does an amazing job of just kind of going like, oh, that's that character. Oh, okay, that's that
Yeah.
character. You know,
Yeah, I
nailed
know.
the
Yeah,
job.
April Bowlby, the actress, is just great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just it's cool that I mean, like she deals with self worth. You see depression through like Larry Trainer.
hmm
And
Accepting who he is.
yeah, accepting who he is. He's queer, and just the fact that it has like a queer superhero, just kind of figuring it like just dealing with all these like issues that he had, just being closeted. It's just really cool. It just reminds me of because it pulls a lot from the Grant Morrison run, and it's just how progressive it is.
Yeah, I mean, there's an entire 2 episodes about just being who you are, and I feel, and that's the Danny episodes,
Yeah,
both
those
season
are
one and
great.
in two. Yeah, in season one, the Danny episodes are amazing. Like those are really, really good episodes of just we're it's a it's a place where everybody can feel safe. Danny Street is, everybody here is. It's kind of like the perfect utopia
Mm-hmm.
of people where you can be whoever you want to be and no one judges you, and it's just kind of like a giant party all the time
Yeah.
because it's not like a malicious party at all that's like trying to like mesmerize you in so that way it can like take over your mind. It's just so inclusive, and Danny wants
Mhm.
you to be whoever you want to be.
Yeah, I mean, I would live there on that street.
Yeah, like Danny Street sounds awesome. It relieves you of any pressures of normal society, and it basically says, who would you, if you could be whoever you wanted to be, who would it be?
Yeah.
And a lot of people come out, or they had really amazing storylines there and stuff like that. So it is they have some really great stories. Also, Alan Tudyk as Mr. Nobody.
Yes, he's been making a lot of money off of DC because
Oh
he's the
yeah.
Joker. He's like everyone in Harley Quinn.
Oh
Clayface.
yeah. Yeah. I really do like Alan Tudyk. Alan
Great
Tudyk
actor.
as, but him as Mr. Nobody, I feel is like what made season one,
Yeah.
because he was their overarching supervillain,
Hmm.
the guy that they needed to be. And I feel like this is the thing that season two was missing.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to talk into season two, yeah, we could spring into that because the last episode came out today, the date of the recording, and Famous kind of it was going to film that last episode right when the pandemic hit. They were like
Mm,
ready to film and they had to shut down. So it ends kind of on a cliffhanger. Spoilers.
yeah.
And it's kind of just it just kind of ends, and it reminded me of like how Titans just ends with that Batman
And
episode.
yeah.
Kind of sucks to hear that. But, I mean, at least like they got close to finishing their episode order. So yeah, season two. I mean, it feels like yeah, it does feel different than season one. Just the fact that they're kind of using their powers more like in a comic booky way. Like it felt
Mhm.
very like body horror esque in the first
Some
season.
of it,
Yeah.
I mean, but there were also what I feel is that once again it was their story, but it was a lot more of the story of them choosing who their family truly is.
Hmm.
What was it? I know that Brendan Fraser's Robot Man is, dealing with his daughter, and
Hmm.
then, them kind of reconciling and becoming them kind of coming to an agreement of, I want you in my life, and I
Hmm.
want you in my son's life because his daughter is having, a child,
Yeah, yeah. I
something
mean,
like
it's
that.
really meaningful discussions. Yeah,
Yeah.
with like Larry and his son. I love the scene in the cemetery where he recognizes that's his dad. Doesn't
Mhm.
really you know need an explanation or anything, and the fact that he kind of pulls like I guess reminded me of X2. Just kind of betrays him.
Yeah, yeah. And then Jane just kind of dealing with all of the other personalities
Yeah.
in her head. So I mean, I understand this as like a season. Season two is very much it kind of jumps inside of itself.
Hmm.
It's the characters trying to figure out who they are.
Yes. Yeah.
But the only thing is that they didn't have this overarching villain,
Yeah.
somebody to impose on them, where it kind of felt like they were at a certain point. It kind of felt like they drifted a bit. Like they would have these great like realizations, but it would take a really long time to get there. And they would kind of drift, or you would be all over the place, and you were just kind of like, okay, I need you to pick it up. Like, come on, get back on track.
Yeah.
Back on track here. Or also, it's just kind of, some episodes were kind of like, wait, what is the point of this episode? What are we doing? And then they do finally get to that point, and you're like, oh, okay, I get it. All right, all right. So
Yeah.
I
Definitely,
huh?
yeah, it was definitely different. I don't know if it kind of reached the kind of the heights of that first season, but yeah, I mean, at least it did, a lot of like just different storylines. I've got to appreciate it for that. Would you feel that how did you feel just with just talking about the finale though, just kind of the way it ended?
Okay. I don't.
want spoilers here.
Yeah, I personally don't like the character of Dorothy.
Okay.
I didn't. I, I didn't like it. I didn't like her. Like, I think that she was a fine child actor. That was fine.
Okay.
She annoyed me more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just kind of like, okay, can you get me back to the characters I really like that brought me into this show? I really don't care about, about Timothy Dalton and his daughter. I really don't care right now.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad because I do feel like their story could have been a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
But at a certain point, it just becomes, there was a lot of episodes where they just kind of very much sidelined her.
Yeah.
She was there, but sidelined. And then there were episodes where, oh, yeah, this is a Dorothy episode, but we're just going to sideline all the other characters, or all their storylines are very much like second note or anything like that. It didn't feel like any of the stories kind of blended really well.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of times where her story kind of didn't care. Mm. And I was like, all right, that's fine.
Yeah, it's pretty fair. I mean, it just kind of felt a little tacked on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not only that, but also she kind of feels like I hate to say nuisance to the team.
Mm-hmm.
But the team is trying to, like, there's a lot of episodes where they're trying to, like, make a breakthrough in their own personal, like, psychosis. And then they have this little girl who's like 100, like 80 years old, who's just like, what are you doing? And it's like, I don't have time to explain this to you. Like,
it's I mean, it was kind of difficult to kind of incorporate her because, I mean, the team is like, the only like, because like they don't really team up. The only like person that kind of like adds to their like little ensemble is like Flex Mentallo.
Yeah,
I always enjoy seeing that guy.
Flex Mentallo and like the Sex Patrol, like that was interesting. That was an interesting episode.
Created by Grant Morrison and doing orgasms.
Yeah.
I enjoyed whenever I saw Flex.
He showed up. He showed up quite a few times, though. That was good. I liked the fact that they were. I think that they took the note that Flex Mentallo was a really dope character, and I feel like whoever was writing that episode was like, we got to put him in more because it's really just put in, because it feels like he's a god. Mm-hmm. Like every single time.
Yeah, his powers are pretty undefined. Like what he could do, like he could just alter reality by flexing.
Yeah, like he goes, oh yeah, it's this muscle. I can just like stop time. And it's like, wait, what? You can do what?
It was one of my favorite. Yeah, I mean, hopefully, I guess in the next season, whenever that happens, whenever they get a film, they'll incorporate her better. We can hope.
That's the thing, though. Yeah, but the thing is that for the DC like universe kind of thing for their DC Online, it always is really weird.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like they dropped the ball on one season, which was last year was Titans, and they kick it out of the park with Doom Patrol. Because Doom Patrol was just a home run the whole way.
Yeah.
Then this one was kind of like, okay, we dropped the ball on Doom Patrol, but we kind of hit it out of the park with Stargirl.
Yeah.
Because Stargirl is like I watched it and I was like, oh my god, like this is amazing. Like I totally understand why it's going to the CW.
Yeah,
like, I get it.
It's kind of hit or miss. It seems like a little fickle with some of their shows. I mean, God knows if we'll even see the DC Universe app continue next year. Because
I'm really hoping they do. Because I love.
I love Harley. Harley Quinn's definitely going to go to HBO Max because they just put all the episodes on HBO Max.
Yeah, this is what's going to be really weird because HBO is like partnered up with the DC app, and it's kind of like, okay, are they going to go away next year?
Yeah. I mean, you could have all these comics at least on the DC app.
Yeah, I mean, that's really cool. I mean, technically they don't have a Marvel app yet that you can read all the comics that you want. I mean, that's cool, but I don't see their content isn't as impressive.
Yeah, no, for sure. So we'll see. It's kind of cliffhanger for the show, for the app, but at least I love these characters. I'm pretty invested in them, so we'll just keep watching them.
You really want to see a good show? Go see Stargirl this year. That was good. That was
It could be the next show. Who knows?
Well, that was the thing, though, is that they already said it's going to CW. It's going to be a part of the Arrowverse, and it's a done deal. It's going to be off of off of the WB app. I mean, the DC app, and it's going to go to CW.
Okay.
So it's going to be a part of the Arrowverse. The Crisis on Infinite Earths already said it's Earth 2. In the new world that has been created, it's now Earth 2. So I'm pretty excited to see what happens from there.
Yeah, let's definitely check that out. But Nick, we're running out of time right now. We're just wrapping up. But you know, it's just good to talk comics with you. Do you have anything to plug or promote on your end that you want any listeners to check out?
You know what? As of right now, no. As of right now, no. What was it? I for the most part, the quarantine has kind of soaked up everybody completely, everything like that. So as of right now, no. I am working on another podcast.
Okay.
It's still in the works, so keep tuned.
Yeah. Got a lot of time to work on stuff like that, But cool, man. We'll hopefully hear more about that soon. But just closing up here, I just want to just promote the Waffle Press. You could find it on Twitter at the Waffle Press, on Instagram at the Waffle Press Podcast. We're on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts. Please like, share, download, subscribe. You could find me on Twitter and Instagram, G9892. Nick, where can they find you at?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram for it's the Nick Valero.
There you go. Please follow us. We're always tweeting funny things. And thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We've been Professionally Unprofessional.